So we will inshallah tonight discuss this issue of purpose of life, and to discuss this question we have with us our respected brother Muhammad Zackariya. Muhammad Zackariya is a graduate of Nottingham University. He is currently a local active dawah carrier. He has in the past given many talks at Nottingham Training ISOC as well as local mosques. He has also been invited by well-established bodies such as Journey to Islam and Al-Nasr Institute to deliver talks on a variety of issues. So it's a pleasure to have him here. And without any further ado, I would like to invite Brother Zackariya to deliver his talk on purpose of life.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبشر المؤمنين بأن لهم من الله فضلا كبيرا صدق الله العظيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Ahzab verse 47, and announce to the believers the glad tidings. They will have from Allah a great bounty. I want to welcome everybody with Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam.
Come on, brothers, man. I know everyone's hungry. I know the smell of curry is in the air. And when the smell of curry is in the air, everyone goes a bit crazy. Well, come on, I'm sure you can give a better salam than that. Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah. Okay. As I was thinking to myself, purpose of life, you saw the video. No one had answers. And I was thinking to myself, it's an important question. It's a question that we all think about. How should I deal with it? How should I tackle it? Should I give everybody the box standard talk? Should I give everybody, this is what you do, this is your purpose in life? Well, I thought, when I was younger, a few years ago, I went through a process myself, and I was thinking to myself, what is my purpose? And I was thinking, where did I come from? Where am I going? And I went through a thinking process. And today what I want to do is share with you guys the same process that I went through myself. Something very simple, something very concise, very clear. So I want to start, and I want to begin by asking and requesting from everybody to actually get up from your seats. So if everybody just stand up, even the sisters, just so no one can tell me if the sisters are standing up on you. Firstly, I'd like to say I'm a bit shocked everyone did that. So no one, can you stand there so the sisters can see you? A talk is not going to be fun unless you make fun of the president, right? So I want everybody to raise your arm in the air. Come on, brother, if you're putting up your left hand with the ummah of the right, yeah? So we want the right arm, yeah? Alhamdulillah, okay. Alhamdulillah. Right arm straight in the air. Okay. Now I want you guys to bend it like this, ummah. Like that. Okay. Don't flex your muscles, yeah? Sisters can't see you. Now, I want you guys to open up your fist. Pat your head 3 times. Alhamdulillah. Okay, everybody can sit down. Jazakumullah khair. Jazakallah to the brother, he did it 6 times, yeah? I have another request. It's 7:40, so the one went on a bit longer than I expected. 7:40. Now, if I requested everybody in this room, every single day of your life, starting from today, at 7:40, when the clock strikes 7:40, I want you all to raise your arms up, bend it like this, and pat your head 3 times for the rest of your life. Is anybody in this room going to do that? Show of hands. Anybody? Can I convince anybody? Maybe the brother at the back? No? Okay. This is a question I actually want to answer from you guys. Why wouldn't you do it? Somebody, anybody, why wouldn't you do it? So, brother, one brother here. There's no reason. Brother at the back? Reward, okay. Reason, reward, anything else? What's the purpose? Okay. So what I'm taking from you guys is, when I requested you guys, just because I asked you guys to do something, you wouldn't do it because there's no reason, or there's no purpose, or you can't see why, or you don't see the point. And if you look at all actions, normally it's very hard, it's very difficult to get people to do things when they can't see why, or they can't see a reason, or they can't see a purpose. So I'm assuming in 10 years' time, we're not going to see 2 graduates of Trent University, 740 arm goes shooting up, then it starts bending, then it starts. We're not going to see that. Because for you to do that action, it requires for me to give you a reason, a justification, a purpose. Otherwise, we don't do it. So that's the first point that I want to establish. Zackariya, if everyone's standing up. I didn't look like a fool yet. Okay, second example. I'm going to take you a step further now. This is the red pill example. And this is an example, it's about a couple and a child. And we'll call the child Tim, yeah? So they tell Tim, from a young age, they tell him, he's got to have a red pill every single day of his life. And they also put conditions on it. So they tell him, it's highly recommended that he has a meal before he has the red pill. Then they say to him, it's preferable that he has certain types of food. And then they say to him, it's desirable, it's optional even, for you to have a glass of water afterwards. So they tell him the action, and they give him conditions. But they don't tell him why. They don't tell him why. So Tim's growing up. And at first, Tim's very obedient. He's a very obedient little boy. He listens to everybody. He's getting as much support as he can get from his mom, his dad, dinner ladies, teachers, everyone's supporting him. Yo, Tim, here you go, here's your food, whatever, here's your pill. He's getting the support. Now all of a sudden, Tim gets older. What happens when you get older? There's no support. No one's there to help. You have to do things independently. You have to do things by yourself, from your own will, your own desire. So what starts happening? All of a sudden, while he's at secondary school, he forgets to drink the water. That was optional, he forgets to drink it. As he gets even more older, he's rushing to class, he starts forgetting what types of meals that he needs to have. So he's just eating whatever he can get. So he's starting to become lazy with what he's been told. Now he's amongst his friends. He's amongst his friends, and his friends tell him, Tim, why do you have a pill every single day of your life at a certain time? Why do you do that? Tim has no answers. He can't answer why. They ask him again, why do you do that? He has no reasons. He feels awkward. Do you know that awkward feeling you get when you're doing something and someone catches you and says, why are you doing that? Everyone here in this room has experienced that, right? And I'll give you the most, unfortunately, most of our awkward moments are linked to Islam. Because we don't have much knowledge of Islam, many of our awkward moments are linked to Islam, unfortunately. And the most famous example, the right foot in the sink. You guys are at university, those of you who are at work, it's dhuhr time, you need to do wudu. You go to the toilet, you look around, scout the place, no one's seen me, you slip in. You quickly do the actions of wudu. Unfortunately, as soon as the right foot goes in the sink, someone happens to open the door. And you're like, Iqbal, what are you doing? Why is your right foot in the sink? And now you're in a... Have you ever experienced that before? You're not sure what to do. You're thinking, wow, what should I say to him? What should I explain to him? And you feel slightly awkward. And you don't want to answer, because you don't know the answer. So what would you do the next day? You're going to go to the disabled toilet. What are you going to do the next day? You're going to ensure you got your wudu before you leave the house. No water, no drinks, I'm going to keep my wudu today. Ya Allah, please help me. This is what you're going to be thinking. Because you're almost shamefully and secretly doing it because you have no answers. Similarly with Tim, he had no answers. He had no confidence in what he's doing. So what does he start doing? He starts secretly taking the pill. And he doesn't tell anyone. So now Tim gets older and he's at university. He wants to come to Trent University. He wants to do medicine. But Trent University don't do medicine, he wants to do biochemistry. So he's there doing his course, and one of his friends, they tell him, we're going to go out for tonight, we're going to go to the cinema, we're going to go have a meal. And Tim's thinking, I've left my clothes at home, and I live miles away. I can't come. You know when there's that one guy who's ruining your evening? You say, come on man, stop being a flop. Come come with me, come with us. And they inquired, say, what's wrong? Why don't you want to come? He says, I've left my pills at home. Now they're saying to him again, Tim, why are you taking that pill? Why is that pill so important? Why not just drop it? He's got no confidence in what he's doing. He has no reasons why he's doing it. And he finally agrees and he drops the action. So now he's going off, they're at the meal. For the first hour, nothing's happening, nothing's going wrong, everything's nice. He's having the meal, and all of a sudden, an hour later, he starts sweating. Maybe he's had a chili. He starts shaking. He almost collapses, he's feeling dizzy. He's foaming at the mouth. And now his friends are panicking, he's collapsed on the floor. They call the Queen's Medical Centre. They get the people over, they get the ambulance over. They're trying to resuscitate him, they're trying to revive him. But Tim is pronounced dead before they get to the Queen's Medical. What happened to Tim? What happened to Tim? Later on, they found out that this pill that he was taking was keeping him alive. In essence, this pill was keeping him alive. He had a genetic disorder. He had some kind of hormonal imbalance. And this pill was correcting it. So the question is, if Tim knew the importance of taking that pill, what would he have done? What would he have done? Imagine you guys were in that scenario, where taking something is a matter of life and death. How would it affect your actions? So remember the conditions, the water, the meal, the types of meal, and actually taking the pill at the correct time. He would have done it consistently. He would have done it independently, out of his own will. He would have been motivated to do it, because it's a matter of life and death. So the more important something is to you, the more motivated you are to undertake that action. So the 2 points that I want everybody to remember. First point, for actions, you need reasons. You need a purpose, something for you to see, for you to undertake that action. And as we've proven, no one was willing to pat their head. But after today, well, obviously you did it once. But the second thing, you have to be motivated. You need good reasons to act. So let's look at things which are not life and death, which are less than life and death, which are still important to us. University. We all come to university for a purpose. We all see university as important. How does that reflect in our actions? You're going to be the first one at the lecture. You're not going to be sleeping in at night. You're going to be there in the morning lectures, you're going to be there in the afternoon lectures. You're going to be making sure you're not partying all night when you've got an assignment due. You're going to be the one that's pulling the all-nighters. You're going to be the one that's working hard trying to make sure he passes his exam because he wants to get that degree, because he wants to get that good job, because he wants that house, he wants that car. You have a purpose, you have a mission, you have a direction. And your motivation always shows. So an hour before the exam, you look at two people. The person who's there looking at all of his notes, he's the one that wants to get the degree. He wants the one that understands that university is important. But the one who's sleeping an hour before and he's not too bothered, he's only here to chill. So your motivation always shows. Another example, jobs. Many of you in your final years, you're going to be applying to graduate schemes. And when you get your interviews, what are you going to be like when you go to your interviews? You're going to be wanting to dress nicely. You're going to want to wear the suit. You're going to make sure your hair's done nice. You've got the gel, the VO5 gel, or whatever it's called. The brother's got the long hairs, you're going to want to straighten it. That's maybe the sisters. But the sisters are going to wear the designer jilbabs or their hijabs. They're going to make sure everything's on point. Why? Because that job's important to you. Because you want to get that job. You want to impress. And because you want to impress, and because it's important, your actions reflect that. And these are for things which are not life and death. These are for things which are less than life and death. This is university. If you fail your university degree, it's not life and death. Unless you've got Asian parents, yeah? Then it is life and death. But this is less than life and death. So now, I want to summarize what we've established and then go to the broader point. The first point that we all established was, before we do actions, generally, normally, to do them consistently, independently, we need reasons. We need to see a point. We need to see a purpose. Secondly, if that purpose, if that reason is important to us, we will be motivated to act. So now, let's ask the key question, the vital question. If for these small actions like university, like jobs, like losing weight even, we need reasons and good ones and clear ones, what about your